Thomas Edison. You might have heard of him as a man who is known for his contributions in helping to create and revolutionize the light bulb. What you might not know, though, is the actual life story of young Edison. His family actually started out with an economic problem, just barely making it in the world. They eventually had to move where Thomas would develop different ways to make money. In school, he was thought to be learning disabled, but in fact, he was very intelligent. As a result, he was homeschooled by his mother and took a liking to railroads and trains. At age 12, he started his own business in selling candy and magazines while publishing his own newspaper, all done inside the train. At a very young age, Thomas suffered from hearing loss. He did not let that stop him from reading his books or getting involved with technology. Edison felt that electricity could help improve the political process. His first known patent was an electrical vote counter, which, although was considered a failure, ultimately helped Edison become one only more determined to do better. Edison later started his own machine shop where he met his soon-to-be wife, and as his popularity grew, his number of successful inventions did as well. At the age of 29, Thomas Edison set up a laboratory where he utilized electricity to make his next invention, including the electric pen and later the phonograph that revolutionized recording and playback, allowing for the way of the gramophone to later be developed by Emil Berliner. Edison is certainly the man you would think of when it comes to overcoming almost impossible odds. Nobody ever thought that the sound could be reproduced from a machine. Many often thought that the inventions proposed or attempted by Edison were not possible to do. The laboratory that he had set up was full of some of the most brilliant inventors and electricians. They had the goal of being able to create a new invention every 6 months to work in changing the world. Oftentimes, the newspaper would line up to hear a quote from Edison. One of his most famous quotes stated that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. This meant that Edison believed there was much more to genius than just great ideas. When it came to the invention of the longest-lasting lamp, Edison had the goal of lighting the entirety of Lower Manhattan. In his 50s, Edison tried to solve housing issues by developing a way to create houses that could be made from concrete, but this ultimately was a failure for Edison, the man who specialized in electrical engineering rather than civil. Getting the lamp was a bit tricky for Edison. It took many attempts, but he was able to develop a lamp that would last about 15 hours. The light bulb that Edison helped improve would prove to be very useful and later become the light bulbs we use today. The invention and perfection of the lamp was a much needed invention due to how even today we rely on electricity to light up our buildings and power our houses.
This growth means that quality of life around the world is rising. It means that electricity, manufactured goods, food, comfort, and transportation are all becoming more common and accessible.
So how did this lamp that Edison created leave such an impact in the world? Well, when the light bulb was invented, it helped establish order, extend work hours, and even provide a means for travel at night. As the light bulb rose to popularity, so did the businessmen who capitalized on this use of electricity. Soon light companies were formed to help provide you with all the electricity you needed for a reasonable cost. All of this was possible thanks to Edison's lamp that would prompt all sorts of uses for electricity, shaping the very gas-powered past we once had into the way of the future of electricity. Edison being able to harness such a force of nature made him one of the most powerful and famous of men, due to him achieving such an impressive feat.